What's up, guys? Joe White here. And this is another edition of What Pissed Joe Off Today. I know, I can't help it, guys. I tried to have a couple days where nothing really made me mad. I did a hell of a CWF after show last night. It's a good show. Check it out. And then Cecil Scott posted something about this Izzy shit. And Izzy, for those who don't know, Izzy is a superfan. Quote-unquote superfan. I don't know what classifies you as a superfan. To me, that term is just fucking stupid. What classifies you as a superfan? What makes those superfans any different than us regular fans? I don't think anything. So, Izzy is a girl. She is now 10 years old, but a couple years back when Bayley and all of them were in NXT, she was a Bayley fan. She was a huge Bayley fan. She would cosplay as Bayley. Bayley would give her special attention. She would get hugs from Bayley, get invited backstage by Bayley, get, maybe free merch from Bayley. I don't know, but Bayley, kind of paid her a lot of attention in the crowd. She always sat in the front row at the NXT events. You don't really see much of her now that Bayley is gone from NXT. But apparently in the last year or so, Izzy has started to train, quote-unquote train, because I don't know how much a 10-year-old fucking kid can do, as a wrestler. And she's become a manager. In fact, on her Twitter page, on Izzy's Twitter, a 10-year-old has a Twitter, ladies and gentlemen, she has current indie manager and future WWE superstar, Bayley and wrestling fan, but really, I'm just Izzy. Okay. You're just Izzy. You're just a fan. No, you're not. You're a moocher. You're somebody who's taking away from the wrestlers. Apparently, 2 days ago, or 3 days ago, she posted the following video on her Twitter, and I'm just going to play the audio from it. But she posted the following to her Twitter.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Izzy. So I'm super excited for Punk Pro Wrestling presented by Fully Gimmicked. It's going to be Sunday at 6 p.m. at the Gulfview Event Center. I'm so excited. I'm going to make a special appearance. I'm going to bring my side ponytail and the iconic bow. So stop by, get a hug, get some Izzy Mania merch, and I'll see you guys there.
Really? Never mind the hard-earned workers who've been doing this for years. Never mind the workers who have actually been through wrestling school. You're still in probably, elementary school, middle school? Never mind the guys who have paid their dues. Come see me, get a hug, and buy my merch. This whole kids in wrestling thing pisses me off. Whether it's Kenny Omega wrestling that little 14-year-old girl, whether it's the Young Bucks super kicking that little boy on his birthday, and now you got this bullshit. It's bullshit. So Joey Janela responds to her and says that she ought to get, I wish ECW Rhino would come back and gore you through a table. And apparently there's some angle going on between her and Joey Janela. Again, this Joey Janela guy who has spring breaks, which are full of the fucking bullshit wrestling that me and people like Jim Cornette and everybody, a lot of people hate nowadays. Joey Janela, of all people, are paying attention to this idiot. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that about a 10-year-old girl, but come on, guys. This girl's a freaking mooch. And if you're a pro wrestler out there, you should be against this. Because a 10-year-old girl is essentially taking food away from your plate, taking money away from your pocket. If I'm a pro wrestler and I set up to work in any event and they go, okay, you can have a merch table out in the lobby. Go ahead. And then I see a 10-year-old girl come up and set a merch table right beside me, I'm going to be pissed because she's potentially taking sales away from me. well, Joe, if the wrestlers were good, people are going to buy it regardless. That's not the point. I have merchandise coming out soon too, hopefully. I would never, ever, ever set up a merch table or sell my shirts at a CWF event or any other indie event for that matter. It's disrespectful. I don't care if I've been trained. I don't care, explain, this 10-year-old kid. People say, well, she knows how to train. She's been traveling around Florida, quote unquote, managing at events. She's cutting promos. These indie idiot promoters are letting her manage and cut promos. A 10-year-old girl. Let me tell you something. If you're a promoter out there and you're sitting there thinking that this little 10-year-old kid is gonna, you're piggybacking off of a 10-year-old. That's just laziness. It's lazy promoting. It's lazy booking, and you probably shouldn't be running events if that's the measures and that's the level you have to sink to. So then a day goes by after that tweet. She reads Joey Janela's thing and has this to say.
Hey guys, so I came home from school today and I got some awesome...
I came home from school today. Let's continue.
Some supportive tweets about my special appearance at Punk Pro Wrestling. Check that out. And some are really hateful. One was by Joey Janela, and he said that I should be gored through a table by Rhino. And do you really think I should be gored through a table just for following my dreams? No! I'm 10 years old, and I don't care how young I am to be dreaming about being a wrestler. One day, I'm going to be a wrestler. One day, I'm going to be main eventing WrestleMania. You'll see Izzy Mania main eventing WrestleMania for the first time. And to all you haters out there, I'm going to still follow my dream, whether you like it or not. And to Joey, I hope your spring break goes really well like it did last year in Orlando, and I hope to bump into you in New Orleans. So, bye!
Yeah, WWE probably gave you free tickets. Anyway. I'm 10 years old, and I have a dream. And it's good that you have a dream, Izzy. I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome for a kid to want to pursue their dreams and go into the business. But let me give you some advice just from a Mark's point of view. Finish school, education, get some wits about you. Dare say go through fucking puberty first, and then maybe give it a shot. You're going to get a lot more respect that way. You wouldn't be hearing rants like this from your fellow fans who think it's disrespectful. Do it the right way. This is not the right way, man. It's not. I don't care if you sign a waiver. I don't care if these promoters make her parents sign a waiver or a hold harmless clause, whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter how much wavering how many waivers you sign, how much insurance you got. The bottom line is if this girl gets in the ring and I don't care. Well, Joe, they're not booking her in matches; they're just booking her to cut promos. Heaven forbid somebody should jump the fucking rail and do something to this poor little girl. Heaven forbid. I'm just throwing out scenarios, guys, because we're in 2018 now, and with the way the world is, you got half the world becoming a psycho, and you got half the world becoming a bunch of SJW twats, and anything can fucking happen nowadays. But heaven forbid this girl gets injured. It doesn't matter if she signed a waiver. The promotion could go, she signed a waiver, we're not liable. It does not matter. We're in the age where the court of opinion outweighs the court of law. And guess what? If something happens to this girl under your watch, regardless of what she signed over, if she signed her life over to you, saying, I won't sue you, I won't hold you liable, guess what? The public will still hold you liable. It's still going to look bad on you guys, the promoters, who let this bullshit happen. It needs to stop. Bruce Mitchell tweeted out underneath Cecil Scott's tweet, "No kids in wrestling." I wholeheartedly fucking agree. This girl has no business being on the other side of the guardrail ever. It shouldn't happen. And if Joey Janela has a quote-unquote match with this girl, he's no better than a Kenny Omega who goes out there and wrestles a blow-up doll or wrestles a 13-year-old girl. He's no better than the Young Bucks who super kick a little boy on his birthday. Yeah, I know, the little boy was the promoter's son. I don't give a fuck. No kids in wrestling. Joey Janela replied to this going, "Okay, now I'm going to get Zandig to throw you off a building through a stack of flaming tables. Keep running your mouth." And she's like, "See you in New Orleans." People said, Miss WWE fan goes, "The fact that people are mean to Izzy on here blows my mind. She's a 10-year-old little girl who's trying to have fun and make her dreams come true. Just because she has parents who support her, and maybe you don't, doesn't give you the right to bash her." The problem is that you don't understand that from an aspect of a business point of view or another wrestler's point of view. Again, if I saw this booked on a show, can you imagine the people that get booked under Izzy? I'm in the opening match, but Izzy gets to go on after me. What does that say? What does that say about the business? Her pinned tweet is a highlight video of her managing at Mid-Florida Wrestling. And to anybody who lets this happen, to any of the workers who let this happen, you're fucking morons. You're a fucking moron. I'm sorry. I know I'm going into Jim Cornette territory here. But this just should not happen. It just should not happen. Again, I don't care how many waivers she signed. I don't care how much training she's had. If a 10-year-old girl goes in there and gets injured, it looks bad. It looks bad not only for the promoter, but it spreads throughout the business. Also, it makes us look cheap. No wonder I got to read articles, right after the Ronda Rousey thing happened a couple weeks ago. No wonder I got to, do articles about she's not the first one to go into the wrestling business. This doesn't make our cause any better. It doesn't help. So guys, stop promoting this shit. Tell her, no, your place is on the other side of the guardrail until you turn, say, 17, 18. Finish school first. Get an education. Because, yeah, you'll want to be a wrestler, but it doesn't last forever, and you're going to have something to fall back on. Go get an education. Go live your life a little bit. Go be a kid. This needs to stop, ladies and gentlemen. It just needs to flat out stop. Let me know what you think of this situation. Leave a comment below. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. If you're watching this, just thank you so much for your support over the last couple of weeks. It's been awesome. I got a special video going up for my Patreon supporters later today. $1 a month gets you access to pretty much everything. There is going to be a second tier soon, but I haven't figured that out yet. Link below in the description if you want to join into one of my $1 warriors. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. And we'll see you down the road. This mess with kids in wrestling has to stop.